Hi, good morning, everyone. It's about 11 o'clock. It's Sunday, October 16th. Uh, I've spent most of the morning running down rabbit trails. Um, I watched a video and they talked about, that's going to be an aggravation. Okay, let's do this way, see if that works. Excuse me. All right, hopefully my tripod issues are going to calm down, but I don't think so. Anyway, it's holding steady now. So, okay. Uh, and I haven't got all of my research done, but I got enough here to do a video on. It wasn't what I was looking for. Oh, excuse me. Them sinuses draining. Anyway, so what I was looking for, I watched a video that's about the beef prices in the United States, and you know, four companies control it, and that Tyson had been in trouble before for bribing a USDA official. So that's what I was fishing for, and I haven't found that yet. If it's out there, I will get to it. Okay, so but here's what I did find out. Hold on. Okay, let's try this again. All right, so this is what I have found out, and none of it has anything to do with, well, just bear with me for a little while. All right, I found on a website called Top Class Actions. Uh, Actually, they're going to be the source for two of these stories I'm going to tell you about. The first one is from May of 2019. This is, that's the date they used. Uh, and it's talking about price fixing beef prices. Okay. And this class action suit is against Tyson Foods Incorporated, Cargill Incorporated, JBS USA, and National Beef Company. Now, those four companies control 70% of the beef packing industry. And 74 companies, four, control 70% of the beef packing industry. And this goes back to 2015. Like I said, 2015, and this article is on 2019. So, in the case is Peterson et al. Versus AgriStats Incorporated. Case number 019-CV-01129. In the U.S. District, well, nope, never mind. Forget that U.S. District part. But anyway, uh, yep, okay. Uh, so these four companies are accused of fixing prices and of getting together and having meetings specifically to do that. I mean, just like I said, you could. There's article about this kind of stuff online. Just go to your favorite search engine. I prefer DuckDuckGo, but you know, it claims that these people are getting these company representatives getting together to control price, and the way they do it is they slow down their production. I mean, think OPEC. You know, the oil producing and exporting countries. if you have a big enough share of any market, you can control the prices just by pulling back. Just think, if if these four companies get together and agree, they already own 70% of the industry, the beef packing industry. So if they get together and decide they're going to cut their production back to jack the prices up, it's going to happen. That other 30% doesn't have a big enough share of the market to counteract. And, and then they also, by reducing the meat in the market, that reduces the demand to the farmer. So not only does the consumer have to deal with higher prices, but the farmer has to deal with lower prices. And these four companies, between them, they own several different brands they use, so that it doesn't look like they have a monopoly, which I guess technically this is not a monopoly, because there's at least four companies, packing beef. And also, this was that lawsuit was in the U.S. District Court for the District of Minnesota. I don't know how that's came out. I haven't found out. And on the Drovers website, on 1/12 of 21, this is just last year, Tyson settled a poultry price fixing lawsuit. Pilgrim's Pride, a subsidiary of Tyson, at the date of that article, was planning to pay $75 million to make that go away. I mean, they're buying their way out of these lawsuits is what they do. The first one I mentioned, I don't have any kind of settlement information. Again, on Top Class Actions website, dated 2/24 of 22, this is February of this year, they report that Tyson, in 2021, Tyson agreed to pay $221 million to settle a price-fixing lawsuit. And also on that site, they reported that Tyson and Perdue, between the two of them, and they're not one company. Perdue is a big chicken processor, just like Tyson is. But they agreed to pay $35 million to the chicken farmers, which I'm glad to see that money was going to the farmers. And in this lawsuit, well, in the former one too, with the beef, AgriStats, it's a company that collects statistics on agricultural prices. And they're involved in this too, because they were supplying stats to these companies, Tyson, Perdue, Cargill, JBS USA, and National Beef. JBS is, I think, a Brazilian company. Man, and I haven't even been looking for anything hardly on them, but their name keeps popping up, bribing government officials. It's crazy. Okay, and now we'll move on here to ABC News reported on July 7th, 2022, Sysco, another huge corporation, accuses the four largest beef producers of price fixing. There's 15 plus cases there. Oh, along with the beef Sorry, I misspoke there. There is also 15 plus cases against these companies for price fixing in the pork industry. CBS News reports on July 6th of 2022 that Smithfield Foods, don't quote me on this, but I think they're a subsidiary of Tyson as well. But they're being fined $42 million for pork price fixing. Are we starting to see why our food costs so much? Okay, now this one here, this one ought to make you mad. Now, I took this from the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia, straight off of their website. This is the United States Attorney's Office. This is August 10th of 2021. You know, just over a year ago. Richard Holman, now, bear with me, this is a long title. Former Chief of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Coordination, Physical Security Division, was sentenced to 4 years of probation. The first 180 days were to be served in home detention. It means you can't leave his house. Okay, here's a guy that's probably worth millions of dollars, you know, before he got into government, because that seems to be how that works. But anyway, that's my speculation on that part, how much he was worth. But he's convicted. Okay, let me get back to the sentence. He has been convicted. 180 days of home detention and fined $110,000 for a multi-year scheme in which he accepted bribes in exchange for ensuring the awarding of USDA contracts between July 2013 and 2015. Okay, now, the people responsible for these bribes, Eric Schneider and Communication Resources Incorporated, or CRI. Okay, so what they're accused of doing, they gave Holman and other USDA officials, which they never named those in this, but they handed out Corvette wheels, concert tickets, PGA Tour tickets, meals, alcohol, and it says strip clubs. I'm guessing that's, you know, a night in a strip club. Parking, concierge, medical services. That's worth quite a bit right there. Prescription drugs and other cash tips. Eric Schneider and CRI got preferential treatment in awarding $19 million in USDA contracts. So, by giving this stuff to this Richard Holman, Chief of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Coordination, Physical Security Division. So I'm going to guess, I need to go look that up, but he's probably the guy responsible of storing food for the government. I don't know. Be my guess, you know, for emergency uses. But, yeah. It didn't say what Mr. Schneider and CRI got out of this whole lawsuit. It's not enough. But if you think about it, here's a USDA official got caught, sentenced. He only got 4 years of probation. In the first 180 days, he is under house arrest, basically. And $110,000. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, he should, my opinion, he should be doing jail time. Uh, this is I got my little notepad here. I've got 3 pages of notes of corruption. Some of it, I don't think I'm going to go into this. I might, I don't know. This video's already ran a little bit longer than I planned. Well, I can't say that because I really didn't have a plan. But, you know, and we wonder why our food prices are the way they are. But I know that most of the American public don't care about any of this because up until recently, the last couple of years, food prices have been cheap. I mean, that's one of the cheapest things in our household budgets is food prices. And, there's lots of reasons for that. The big, in pigs and chickens, the confinement raising of animals. The big feedlots for the beef. The pushing out of the smaller farmer. Especially in the poultry industry, in the pork industry. I can remember in the 70s and 80s, late 70s, early 80s, when we were raising pigs. Of course, we didn't raise too many for the commercial market, but some of ours did because we would take them to the auction there in Joplin. And, I know that I sold one pig that went to Hormel. I mean, because when you took a pig to the market, there was brokers that you had to go through. And I think I don't remember exactly, but I think all the brokers went together and they were the ones that ran the auction, basically. And you would take it in there and, there would be buyers from Hormel, which is a subsidiary of Tyson now, which irritates me. I can avoid Tyson meat products. I mean, I raise my own pork and I can raise my own chicken and beef, but just I kind of like that Hormel chili. For canned chili, it's my favorite. Now, homemade chili is absolutely the best. But anyway, back, like I said, late 70s, early 80s, you take an animal over to the auction in Joplin, and there would be local people, buyers from these larger food companies, and you get a decent price. I sold one pig there, got $1 a pound for it. That's 70s, 80s. I mean, and I think that's the one that went to Hormel. I got she's a 400-pound pig. I got $400 for it. But now it doesn't work that way. It's like the poultry industry, and I've talked about that on other videos, so I'll try to keep this short, But for anybody who doesn't know how that works, whether it's pigs or there's a tiered system. And in pigs, you've got your farrowing operation. And they're the ones that they have the breeding sows, and they're all artificially inseminated, which makes me wonder about the genetic diversity. And then there's then they go to a grow out facility. Once they get like 4 weeks old, they go to this grow out facility, and none of these pigs ever see daylight unless it shines through a window or something. They don't see dirt, and from there they go to the processing, the big packing house. And it's the same with chickens, turkeys. You know, they go, they're raised in a big building. And, you know, you just look up CAFO, and you'll see how it works. But these farmers that do that, they have to have a building built on their own dime, a lot of dimes, but that meets whoever they contract with. Say it's Tyson, because they're big in this area. I mean, they're based in Arkansas, just down the road, 100 miles or so. But anyway, they have to build these facilities, and you know, I've heard the numbers like $1 million in debt before you get any birds. Okay, so then Tyson will have shipped from their chick provider. I don't know what they call that. I guess they're brooders. But anyway, they'll send them to a grow out facility. And these facilities will have 6, 8 big houses. Each house holds over thousands of birds, you know, depending on the size, and you know. And they're just all crammed in there, and they're nasty. And then once they, you know, reach whatever age with the chickens, it's usually about 6 weeks, because they some variation of the Cornish cross. You know, 6 to 8 weeks from day old chick to opals after the cat quit. And anyway, till they're processed. And these houses will be staggered with the age. You know, they get some this week, some that week, and then, you know, you understand how this works. And, you know, it's just the farmer doesn't make much on it. The farmer provides all the food, and he's got to take care of any medical needs. And if there's a loss, the farmer eats it. So it's not a very nice system. Now, there are people that are making some good money at it, and you know, cats are messing around here. So, but it's not a good system for the farmer. And if someone like Tyson and these other 3 companies want to control prices, and they want to push your prices down, I mean, they make it look like there's less demand, so they don't have to pay the farmer so much, and then they jack their prices up on the other end. It's just not a very good system, and not a very good system for the farmer. I guess it's all right for the consumer, although, you know, there's scientific evidence that the meat from these CAFO operations, confined animal something, but doesn't have all the vitamins and nutrients and everything that an animal raised outside will have. And, you know, we wonder why we're more sick. But anyway, I wanted to put that information out. I found it interesting. I'm sure somebody will. You know, the corruption. I mean, you know, and I found some other corruption, pharmaceutical companies. I ran across an article. It was titled "The 10 Biggest Corruption Cases So Far in 2020." And 3 out of those 10 involved pharmaceutical companies. Now, one of those was a Chinese subsidiary that didn't keep very good records, and another one was bribing Turkish and Russian officials. But I was looking at that one with Turkey and Russia, and let me see. I'll see if I can find the name. But I was thinking, yeah, this is happening in Turkey and Russia, and it was kind of a small. Uh, it was only like 1.3 and $1 million they had bribed these, but let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Yeah, Alexion Pharmaceuticals in Connecticut. They're based in Connecticut. Uh, yeah, they were bribing doctors in Russia. They spent $1 million to do so, to increase Solaris prescriptions from 2011 to 2015. Think about those dates for a little bit too. Anyway, you know, uh, there was the Speaker of the House in Ohio. This is the Ohio House of Representatives. Uh, him and 4 co-conspirators had a $60 million racketeering and bribery scheme to secure a bailout for 2 nuclear power plants in northern Ohio. And the the bottom line for it all, this is First Energy Solutions of Akron, Ohio, that owns these power plants. But this is going to cost the customers of First Energy Solutions of Akron, it's going to cost them $1 billion to get all the fines and legal fees and everything else paid on that deal. That's just, to me, that's unacceptable. It's wrong. Absolutely wrong. That's an elected official. And just, if you want to take the time, it's out there. So I'm going to wrap this video up for now. And I don't know, it's about 11:30. I got wound up on it. But if you want to go through some rabbit trails and just, it's crazy. And what these companies will spend to settle these out, they'll, get some kind of agreement that says, well, we're not going to say we're guilty, but we're going to pay millions of dollars to make this go away. I mean, you can develop your own opinion on that. I'm pretty sure you get mine because I don't like it. So this is one of the things I mean by looking out for each other. We gotta find this stuff and let everybody know about it. As many people as you can. I mean, I have a very small sphere of influence, but I'm hoping that maybe somebody with a little more will pick it up and go with it. It's crazy what's going on, and it's not surprising. I mean, I wasn't surprised about anything I found, and that's sad in itself. That I'm just an average guy out here trying to earn a living, and I picked a pretty rough industry to do it in, but it's okay. That was my choice. But we've got these people, these huge corporations, these government officials that are just committing crimes, pay a little fine, get a little slap on the wrist. I mean, get 4 years of probation for accepting bribes for people. Basically, I think it's stealing taxpayer money, you know. So, like I said, I'm gonna wind this up. May have another video out tonight. I don't know. Maybe something more to do with the animals around here. So, let's look out for each other. Let's help each other when we can. Let's pray. If what I just got done telling you doesn't make you want to pray, we're in more trouble than I thought. But anyway, I'll catch you later.